Hi, my name is Mabel Alfonso Boycott. I am the blogger for heavenly-locution.com. I am also that is paranormally produced because they don't want me to speak by Donald Lomashevik of Grand Rapids and James Bosun. They are great sorcerers. And it is very probable when I try to download or upload this post, they are gonna shorten it or speed it to 11 seconds because it has happened before several times, even though the parameters never change. Now, I want to sue the Catholic Church, yet I cannot find anybody that after a while, even though I have things, factual charges, they cannot go to trial because they receive mental menaces or they start suffering illnesses that they didn't have before caused by sorcery. I guarantee you, because it has happened to me. I don't want to talk about what happened to others. Here it is what I'm going to take to trial if there is someone with character, righteousness, and the will to die for God, to clean the church and save the world from the greatest menace that there is. Everything started in 2006. We just moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And somehow it got into my heart to become holier. And now I wonder if that was for me to meet my destiny, or by the imprisoners of the mind bringing me to their doorsteps, for they knew who I was. Who am I? I am a retired teacher in disability. Usually, because at the beginning of my paranormal experiences, everything was scary. I was confronted with a world that I knew existed, for this the spirit world. And I am a believer. I was raised Catholic, but I am not so today. For I have experienced heaven and experienced hell with a reality that nobody can challenge. Day I went to get my journeys, paintings blessed. That day was Mercy Love, a depiction of a brunette virgin like the Lady of Guadalupe with the little baby Jesus, the stone baby, in her shoulder, and the rosary beads all around the oval, and the rest of the frame was filled with gold painting. I took it to the rectory of San Isidore, 620 Diamond Street, Northeast Grand Rapids. And I ring the bell. Lomashevik comes out, and I said I brought my paintings. My daughter was with me, Andrea, and I wanted to bless. But Andrea just left the room to stay outside. And I was inside. And he was talking to me, and I noticed him getting annoyed. And his eyes were intensively looking into mine. And I got bothered by it, because such a fixated eyesight into my eyes just bothers after you are talking for 10 or 15 minutes. And the guy looked upset. So I turned my eyes up, thinking, should I answer the next question, my father? When I did that, something pulled my insides. and he bent over my painting. We were talking about something different that wasn't the painting, but it was about money and it was about my salary as a school teacher. And he pretended to be looking at the painting when he realized that I noticed that he better than pay. Darlings, that was the moment that my mind and his mind was tied up, and it has been 16 since 2006 to 2017, my darlings. 10 years of imprisonment. At the beginning, I thought all the charades that they put on me, because I thought that man was a holy man. What do you want? I know what they are doing. He hurt me, and I know when they're around secretly. Now, when that happened, after a week, I started listening to his voice inside my head. They asked me to say nothing, and then it happened that I was so puzzled listening to them and things like that. I went to Hispanic fair, and they pretended the charade was make me believe that I have a demon inside that ripped their souls in half. All this was the story that they were making me believe, and that everybody was upset in the parish because I had stolen the heart of the Holy One, which was baloney. I told my husband about listening to the priest in my head, and that he was moving my fingers, making me act odd, but he didn't believe. He thought I had mental problems, and this exacerbated 2 years after, when I decided to leave my work and follow God, because when He opens a door, nobody can move you. And He would close the door, and it was time for me to leave. The time that I left was incredible, because I, being at home, was at their mercy. At the mercy of their stories, at the mercy of their charades, at the mercy of the tactile hallucinations, at the telekinetic movements of my hands, instant writing, feelings of currents, itchiness. I didn't see anything outside my body, but when I closed, they presented me with visions of having worms crawling. They suggested that I couldn't sleep with my husband anymore because he was evil. On Fridays, they let me bear the wounds of Christ to purge me. Headache for the crown of thorns, side, feet, and hand. I went to the doctor to check the hand deal. They found out that a liquid that causes, one of the substances in the body that causes arthritis was 5,000 times the normal. And I said, okay, they have some way to cause this, because it's 5,000 times. That is not a normal thing that happens from one day to another. Okay. Now, I am not going to tell you the whole story. I'm going to come back to 2017, where factual things have happened. I arrived in Louisiana running away from the rapids because the stress and the threat to my life was too great. Over there, this past 2016, I have felt extreme pain on my whole body, like nails couldn't get up from the bed. Nails on this area where the purses go, here and here, like I had piercing nails. I couldn't lift up my biceps or my uh, arms from the bed. My legs were glued to the bed. Any effort to get up was extremely painful. It lasted for 3 hours, and I begged God to take my life. I begged God to take my life. But at the same time, I told them I don't care if I go to hell, because even there I will give praise to God. God, take my life, but I give praise to you. They didn't like that, but they continued. Sometimes that happened 3 times. I had been like 72 hours without sleep, unable to get up to go to the bathroom, that I had to use a potty chair close to my bed because the pain on the knee was extreme. I have gone to the emergency with heart attack. Supposedly it felt like that. I only went once because I knew that they were contracting the muscles around my chest to produce pain. After having me without sleep for 3 days, unable to get up, and with emotional stress so acute that it will produce a heart attack. But I have a robust heart. I don't die that easily, especially when they are trying to kill me with powers that they suppose said it was Holy Spirit, that I am the evil one. And I tell you, Holy Spirit is love. Holy Spirit is the purity of the Creator. You young, sad, evil ones, that your power of darkness to cause pain and martyrize people comes from the holiness of God. Now, another event. Once after another 72 hours episode, the last one, they were tossing at me curses, extreme curses. I have a friend in the paranormal, who was guiding me to move to this side, and I could see the shadows of the curses because there were severe curses for that. To move to the left, to move to the right because I couldn't see clearly, to save my life. And for a minute, I got up. They let me know they presented a charade at the same time. That with them was Anselmo Vitisenio, Donald Demeshevik, and James Bosun. That James Bosun left the room and left Anselmo with Lomashevik because he wasn't a killer. He is a killer. He is the one that produces the heartaches. Now, when going back to the heart attacks, I went to the emergency. They said that could be pleuresia, irritation of the membranes of the lungs, because my heart didn't have anything. But also it can be muscular or something, so they gave me a relaxing for the muscles, and it worked. That is the only remedy that you can have for sorcery heart attack. Okay, that point is made. With the curses of death, someone was trying to keep my head together, to think together. And I thank that person, that mental friend that led me for 3 days. Say, baby, don't don't freak out. You gotta keep in track. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And it was God sent, of course. He was the hand and the voice of God for me. Now, and he was a beautiful person that they ended killing at St. Mary's Hospital, having a heart attack. I had the date. I don't have it here. I have it in papers, but I will put it there. Because he told me, I am dying today, and I saw him from the point of view of his eyes. So I saw his feet, and I saw the door, automatic glass door, where he was left. And I knew who left him there, a nun that is a nurse that tends to the priest in St. Mary's Hospital. And how I do know that, darlings? Well, very simple. Because I, in a while ago, I do have proof, and I will take it to the right person. I was a ministry of the Eucharist for the sick people of St. Mary Hospital in Grand Rapids. So I know which door it was. It was in one of the second or third floor of the parking lot. Sometimes I go through that door. There is an information desk and there is a ramp around the wall. He was left down at the bottom of the ramp. The woman left because people was coming in and left him there with a heart attack, so he died. And the people that was coming, they won't talk because everybody is afraid of dying. But this woman here, I am not afraid of dying. I have had it with sorcery. Kill me, please give me the peace, because 10 years of slavery to pain and to mental stress had given me a thick skin, had made me stoic, and I die for God anytime. And the only thing that I regret is leaving my husband, because I am the fighter for the family to keep alive. Now, I want to tell you, in December 2016, December 19, at 7:40 to 7:49, I had a paranormal experience of sexual harassment and beating. The details, of course, I'm going to give it to you right away, because I wrote it in my calendar and then wrote the details on a piece of paper. And please, don't you be horrified to what happened that day. I will say it all in English, but it was English and Spanish because I am bilingual, and this was coming out of my mind as I was suffering. I have a great pain on my left labia, on my privates. A rod-like pain on the anus surrounding area. An acute pain as a deflation of the left eye. The right side, has sunset under the eyelids. This, my darlings, is done by martyrizing a living person who, through a curse, they put the name of yours on her. So you are in communion with a person that is being tortured at the same time. Of course, with all this that happened to this poor lady, her name is Diane Berquist of Grand Rapids. I knew her age 67, and she was separated from her husband, John Berquist, and I knew her since I arrived to Grand Rapids when my little one was, no, my oldest one was 2.5 years old. We met at the church at the play of the Passion. So I knew the woman, and she has 2 beautiful children. So Manuel Torres died on September 12, 2015. Another death happened. Oh, by the way, they torture little kids, but I cannot talk about that because I cannot obtain, because the whole family has been treated with that, so I let them that quiet. But if they torture her to death and they torture another woman to death, that I have here her name. Again, at 7:30 on February 28th, I felt the beatings of both breaths. I was screaming aloud. There was people in my house. They hear me, but they didn't come to the room. And I am sure this priest may have put a spell for them not to disturb, because that's how they work. When I was feeling the beatings and I was in terrible pain, I saw the women after the beating passed for 30 minutes that I received the beating. She was on a table on the bridal room that is at the left side, because I know where the bridal room is, entering the San Isidore Church at the street level, climbing up. You had to climb the first set of steps, and then it is the basement where there is the gathering of the church, the bathrooms, there is a hall, the bathrooms, the next door, there is the bridal room at your left. And she was on the table. I could recognize her. She was a woman 5 feet tall, pepper hair, slim, 100, I would say 50 pounds, more or less. I knew that she was the nun, Mary Garcia, who prepared the gifts every Sunday before Mass started. I knew that she became the lover of Lomasevic, and that's how he brought her there, to celebrate the month of love. Now, it was present there Donald Edward Lomashevic and Tom Hack, both priests of San Isidore. They were the ones that were giving her the beating, and the one that killed her by suffocation, strangling. I didn't feel the strangling. The beating was enough. But when they were so busy, the soul pulled out. I was being, how can I say, informed what happened by the soul of the dead woman that I just saw and I felt. She said, my eyes were plucked out by them because I saw half of the face of Loma Ceviche was Pope George Bergoglio, and half of the face of Tom Hack was Louis Bianco, another priest from Rome. Those are murderers. People go to Rome and disappear. Nobody claims them, or nobody can find them. And I cannot talk about it because I have no proof, but this I do. I check. The media doesn't say anything. They never mention anything because the whole city, through the whole number of churches that are in the city, are under the spell and control of the mind. The police chief was a Catholic chief for that time, and they are all couriered because he was going to San Isidro. That, when I say curie, that means taken the spell. Okay? They don't do what they're supposed to do. The bishop said, do not say anything, that woman is crazy. How he knew my repertoire? The vision. She didn't know that I was crazy. If it wasn't because Loma Ceviche said that. But Loma Ceviche didn't believe that I was crazy because when I was doing my time in Pine Rest, because my husband said that I was crazy, and I had, the first time was a challenge, and they took me, and I refused to take medication because I filled the papers myself, and I was in my full knowledge of what I was doing, and there was no reason for them to admit me. When my daughter, the oldest daughter, wanted to kill herself, they didn't admit her as an inpatient. But they admit me when I walk out in full knowledge, perfect signature, perfect writing, all coordinated, I speak fine. And they accepted me. Fuck you people. Then, I tell you, the time that he went to visit me, the second time, I even request for my oil paintings, and they allow me to have oil paintings in a psychiatric ward. Oil paintings where I have paintbrushes, where I have chemicals, where I have, even though it's plastic spatulas, I have plastic spatulas, because they didn't feel that I was crazy, but they all had to submit to the threats of magic. And Loma Ceviche went to see the paintings because there was a miracle in one of them, and both of them were very beautiful. And every time that I finish a painting through a revelation, he put in me, they want to give it to the church because I didn't care to give it, and I hold it as long as I could for that miracle painting, but I had to succumb. And there's more to it. He saw the paintings because I took him to my room. I saw he was a saint that time, but now I know who really he is and how Bosun is. I know that they are going to stop this very soon, and I know that it's not going to be published, but everybody right now is listening to it, and that is good. Now, he did an exorcism that day. I didn't ask for it. He did. He presented himself. He came to visit. He did an exorcism in a private room, making me read his exorcist manual and prayers, and with the cross here in my hand, the cross that he carried in his pocket. Then he knew about the paintings. He wanted to see them. That's why he came. The exorcism tells you that he knows that I am not crazy. And this paranormal exists, because denying it is denying the spiritual reality of a God, of Jesus, and all that the church stands upon. There, I had to stop this. For the second part, it's going to be in a few minutes.